terms in a second. So I hope to get through at least one objective as we push through this. But this is basically the putting it all together chapter of how to run a scene. So who is the IC? The IC is your incident commander. And normally we're all thinking of someone who is your lieutenant or your captain or your battalion chief, any of the other chiefs, battalion chief, district chief, deputy chief, the chief, something along those lines. But if you are going to the grocery store, you and your partner, and you come upon a car fire, one of you is the incident commander. For now. Doesn't have to stay that way. It can change. But there has to be someone in charge of the incident. Okay? Even if someone has been on the job for 1 year and the other person is just starting this month, and I want them to work with you because you seem to have a pretty good grasp of how this whole thing works, so you talk to that person about how this thing runs, but in the meantime, go pick up lunch. And you're on the way to the grocery store and you see a car fire. Someone is in charge. So, however your department does it, seniority is often a good thing because someone who's been around for a year has seen more than the person who is starting this month. Often it's done by rank. So at the fire station, you are going to have a company officer who will be your incident commander if all things go as planned. You will have someone who is checked out and can drive the truck. Okay? And you will have some other firefighters who might not have either of those jobs yet. They might have less, whatever it is, less years, less seniority, didn't test yet, and get picked, whatever the selection process is. So someone is going to be the IC. That is rule number one. We need to plan for us being the IC. There is one of your state practical test stations, one of the 12, that puts you in charge of a scene. I don't like it because I know that everyone is going to have less than a year of experience, and some of you aren't on department, so you really have no way to relate to this. So it seems to be not a great, it doesn't seem to be making sense yet. You're not there. But we have to get through it, and we will get through it. But you do have to realize how to run the first couple minutes of a scene. Okay, someone's coming, don't worry. We're not going to throw you to the wolves and, 17 people are under your command and you've got 1 year on it. It's not how we work it. We will transfer command to someone else as soon as that becomes available. So if you're on your way to lunch, you see a car fire and you call it in, then the engineer and the officer are going to hop on the truck and they're going to meet you there. And we're going to transfer command. So now we're back together working as a group, what we're comfortable with, what we've been doing for the past months or years. Okay? Officer in charge, person driving the truck, handling the hoses and the pressures and all that stuff, and firefighters attacking the car fire. All right, so what does the IC do? They assign tasks. They communicate that information and actions and route resources. So again, if we get that situation where you're in charge, do we expect you to run that whole scene by yourself? No, you probably don't even have the right equipment. You might be in an EMS vehicle. That doesn't help out much in a car fire. So we need to get that communication going. Establish command and communicate who is in command so people know who they're talking to. A battalion chief who hears, Alan's voice, it's like, something's wrong here, that guy should not be in charge. Let's make sure that we've got the correct things happening where someone is going to come and relieve him of command based on where he is within the organization. A 360-degree check is something that we want to do to run every incident. 360 is a circle, right? Okay, so if we walk around the building, around the car, around the garage, we are going to see all those things that are in our blind spot. Not always possible. Howell High School, okay, are we really going to think that we're going to stop and before I give any orders, I'm going to walk all the way around Howell High School before I come back and give my first order? Not going to happen. So we know that. But we want you to think 360, because there are many buildings that you can walk around and get a good view of what's going on. So that is one of the things we should do. And then one of the big things is, are we going to be offensive or defensive? Offensive, we are going interior to fight that fire. Defensive, we are going to throw water from the outside. So roughly, it's that 50% thing-ish. If it's 50% less involved, then we got to think, is offensive my best option here? If it is over 50% involved, that's almost automatic that you're going to do defensive. Too much fire in most situations for us to go in and try to put that fire out. Because at over 50%, how much water is it going to take? What's the weight of water? What's that going to do with the structure? To be 50% involved, did it probably burn all the contents and it's burning the structure right now? How much longer is that structure going to last? So not always exactly 50%. We're gonna, that's why someone needs to be in charge to make that call. And we can do a transitional attack. Transitional means we're gonna start with one. If it doesn't work, we're gonna go to the other one. But I'm gonna mention transitional so everyone's on the same page as me. So if I say we're gonna do a transitional interior attack, then I'm looking for that first crew that's going in. Let me know if I made a bad call here with this offensive thing. And yeah, I got flame up the stairs, down the stairs, and I got flame ahead of me. Okay, we're gonna pull back out, do a par, go defensive, that kind of thing. But from the outside, it looked, building that's completely closed this time of year, it looked like it was less than 50%, so we're gonna try it. All right. So, establishing command. This says, give the IC's name, the incident name. Gotta name the incident. The command post location, which your truck will be your command post for now. Staging area location, if we are doing staging. They know what staging is? What do you got?
It's for if it's a police incident and the police is requesting fire or EMS, and then the scene is not quite safe for firefighters to come on the scene, they'll have you staged somewhere out close to it.
Yep. Did you have a fire example of staging? No? Welch?
You get hold of the tanker, but you're not going to go directly pull behind the engine. You're going to go to level 1 stage, so you're parking just down the street until they are ready for you or give your next action.
Okay. So if I have more resources than I need right now, I'm glad they're close, but I don't need them right here. So stage a block away. You pick a parking lot or something like that. Make initial assignments to available resources and call for additional resources. So, Engine 5 was just pulled up to the scene of a one-story single-family residential fire. I see visible smoke and flame coming from the alpha side of the building. Engine 1 is going to go offensive. We are Main Street Command. Okay, so in that short statement, did I just paint a picture?
Yeah.
In your head? That's what this does. It paints a picture. You're going to go on a lot of false alarms in your career. Okay? You're going to get to the point where I know that address, been there a bunch of times. How quickly are you putting your gear on at this point? Not that quick. They've been there. False alarm. I've been to 90 false alarms at that address before. And then I just say, we have smoke and fire showing, and it's like, whoa, we now get a little bit more urgency in the situation. So it kind of paints a picture to let you know what to expect. Okay? So that's my brief initial report, your arrival report, whatever you want to call that. We are Engine 1. Engine 1 is Main Street Command or whatever. Did I say something? Command?
Yeah, Main Street Command.
Main Street Command, okay. So they know who that is. At this point, everyone in the truck just heard me. Okay? They know we're going to go offensive. So my engineer is going to put the truck into a pump gear and start hitting some levers to get some water moving. Okay? The other crew is going to say, okay, single-story, single-family residence. This is going to be a 1 3/4 inch line. We're going to go interior. Let's check for forcible entry. Let's check for getting the hose there, bled, pattern. Let's check doors, heat. Let's get together as a team. Let's get some tools. they're doing that, and I'm doing the 360. I'm gonna take a little trot around the building, okay? And see if I see anything different, that's gonna give me something else. Out the back of the house, there are 3 people trapped in a back bedroom, and they're trying to get out, okay? So now our priorities are gonna shift a little bit. Forget about the intruder attack. Let's get these people out to this window. Let's take the window out and go for them. So that could change it. There could be, the front could be showing, we're gonna go interior. I get to the back and it's flame from attic, all windows in the back. Okay, so I may start thinking defensive at this point. So the 360 gives me a good picture of what's going on. Now back to the large building. That I don't have time to go around. Tell my engineer, give me a good shot of the building, okay? So this side that we pulled up on, now we're in front of the building, go just a little bit past it. Okay, now I can look over my shoulder and see the third side, okay? If I can't get all the way around, the Howell High School example. Okay, I've got a pretty good view of what's available, but I don't have the time to go all the way around it. So get as much as you can in that picture. All right, so we're going to practice with some pictures and work on this command thing. But this is a good slide to put a star on, circle, whatever, take a glance at. That's the stuff we're going to have to commit to memory at some point. Now that I've done my 360, I'm going to make initial assignments and available resources. Okay, so assuming that this got called in as a house fire, structure fire, I know that more vehicles are coming. We were just first on the scene. I am now command. This probably prompted some chiefs to say, structure fire, we're going to that one. This has the potential to be a bigger incident. So they may relieve me of command later. They may not. So we'll figure that one out later. But as of right now, someone needs to be in charge. So that is my job at this point. So if I want to get your attention, I have to start with your name. Okay? Newer. All right. I called his name. What did he do? Looked right at me. Okay. If I say I need somebody to grab the irons and go to the front door, Newer, what? You need to grab the iron and go to the front door. Okay, but he missed it, and this is a common thing. So that is why always our transmissions are always, hey you, it's me. So engine 1 from command, okay? Gets your attention. Whoa, we're engine 1, shut up. Okay, there's gonna be a lot of radio traffic. Okay, but what is the most important one? When it's you. So get their attention first. And then make your assignments. What are some things that we are going to assign crews to do at a structure fire? Give me one.
You're gonna talk to the family if there's a family outside, and see what's like. You're gonna talk to the family.
All right. Possible?
Primary search, that's.
Okay, give me one. Primary search. Let's start with that. Okay, there's one thing that needs to be done.
Ventilation operations.
Ventilation may or may not have to be done, but it's going to get considered right here.
Suppression.
Fire suppression needs to be done.
Secondary search,
Okay, when does secondary search get done?
after fire suppression.
Yeah, so later. Grit needs to get done.
Your water communication or water supply.
Need water supply. So those are some of the things that have to happen pretty darn quickly. Okay, so I need to assign someone. Engine 1, I need you to be the RIT at this team. So based on what we already learned about RIT, you and your crew are going to set up a RIT tarp, set up some tools in that RIT area that are only to be used by you, not shared with anybody else, because then all your tools are going to get scavenged and you're not going to have anything if you're needed. And the RIT team, or at least the RIT commander, is going to do a 360 around the building. Okay, because if someone says, I have got a patient in a hospital bed on the Bravo Charlie corner of the structure, then it may be easier for us to open up a door wall on the Charlie side of the structure and get that person out, as opposed to try to bring that hospital bed person out the Alpha side door. Okay, so things like that. So they should know the building pretty well that they might be operating in. But we're going to assign some resources. And all those ones that we just talked about, you know, maybe not to talk to the family one, that'll be the incident commander. If someone's there and wants to talk, they'll give me some. I want a short story. Is anyone trapped inside the house right now? Okay, good. All I need to know, yes or no. Okay, I don't need to know about your pets. I don't need to know if the windows are open or the doors are open. We'll figure all that stuff out later. Quick, direct the question if they're babbling on too much, which many times they will. Secondary search is going to be a little bit later, but all the other things are going to have to be considered fairly quickly on. Ventilation, do we do it at every single fire? No, we don't. Can we sometimes use natural ventilation instead of vertical ventilation or mechanical ventilation? Yep, so we got to think about it. Maybe not yet. All right. Place company into action with your remaining members. Assign crew members to work under supervision of another firefighter. All right. If I have to break up this crew, okay, there's 2 of us at the car fire, and I'm going to be in charge, do a 360. Walk around and put your PPC on, okay? I gotta make some radio calls, I gotta make some assignments, I gotta get some help here, but you're still gonna be a firefighter. So put your gear on, get ready. So when that truck gets here, we can go a lot faster. So that would be working under someone else instead of staying together as a crew. Every effort should be made to maintain company or crew integrity. That's what we want, that's how we work, that's how our trucks, that's how our gear, that's how everything is set up. Okay, but we'll get big scale incidents and they'll call you in from home and you stop at the station, grab your gear, and you go to the scene, and where do you want me? Okay, I don't have a vehicle, my vehicle is the other crew has that vehicle. I go to the incident commander, where would you like me? Okay, join engine 4, or wait here, you're gonna work with, I got 2 other firefighters coming here, you guys are gonna make a crew to go search the upper level, into the attic. We think the fire may be extended, we wanna double check that, so you will be doing that. All right, but maintain a crew integrity if at all possible. Management of resources is essential to all incident scene management. Manage your apparatus, that's gonna be a big one. Your equipment, again, so that's gonna be a RIT tarp. Everything on the RIT tarp stays on the RIT tarp. Anything that you need, go to your truck and contact your engineer. If you don't need your truck to pump, we're the third due engine, okay? They're gonna use the first one to do the pumping, the second one's gonna do the supplying. They don't need mine to do any of that stuff. We are now a crew of 4 people, okay? And as we get to the scene and they assign us to do something, we should have come up with tools off of our truck. If we didn't, go back and get them, or pick them off one of those other 2 trucks, the ones that are actually working at the scene. Okay. Personnel and materials. So what materials do we have at our disposal? What can we get if we need to? Where do we keep our extra medical supplies and things like that? NIMS. Anyone know what that stands for? National Incident Management System. I think I may have heard that or parts of that. All right, so NIMS, National Incident Management System. There is a 2-eyed NIMS, NIIMS, National Interagency Incident Management System, which is what the wildfire people did. Because wildfire people, we were in awe. Whenever there was a major wildfire going on, it's like, how does one hand know what the other hand is doing? How does anything happen on this scene good when you've got so many agencies involved? And they planned for it and they practiced it. It's how you get better at stuff. And when it came for us to say, we're pretty good at car fires, we're pretty good at garage fires, we're okay at house fires and things like that, but boy, the big stuff, we suck at it. We call mutual aid and the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing. How do we get better? We went to the wildland firefighter people. Tell us, give us your knowledge. And so we created, the first people that went over, wanted to call it something different, so they called it ICS, Incident Command System. Means the exact same thing. Okay, and then they said, well, why don't we stick with that same kind of theme as the wildland fire people? So they called it the One-Eye NIMS, the National Incident Management System. Forget the interagency, doesn't matter if it is or if it isn't. So they are kind of interchangeable terms. Also, you might see just IMS, Incident Management System. All means the same thing, how to run a scene. So NIMS ICS establishes an organizational structure for all emergency incidents, and it must be used on all incidents. Okay, how much of this do I need to use for a dumpster fire sitting in the corner of a parking lot? How much of incident management, which is this much stuff? Miner's got it, that much. Okay, we get some hooks out, and we get some water out, and we start pulling apart trash, and we start wetting it down. Okay, we're gonna do it under an IMS system, so someone will be in charge, someone will be pumping the truck, other people will be using